Wine. Jungkook, what are you doing? Jungkook leaned down, his eyes constantly staring at his newly wedded wife with a desire he couldn't explain himself. Jungkook, showing you who's in charge, my dear. Wine's breath got stuck after hearing his response. But it was natural, because when he came upstairs in his room, after getting done with the guests, he saw Wine on the bed. On his bed, on the side upon which he lays down usually, and it couldn't get any more unusual for him. But he didn't dislike it. Wine. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Wine hesitated, but he didn't flinch, his eyes never moving away from hers. Jungkook. You're my wife now, Wine. You'll learn to be ready. Jungkook, who was holding his desires and passion ever since they were arranged for marriage by their parents. Otherwise, he could just refuse them. But he didn't want to. He wanted to know her, even if it was the first time he saw her. Something sparkled inside him when he looked at her for the first time. The way she looked at him, the way she talked business with his parents. It was everything he had wanted in a partner, and she was radiating that energy. Obviously, Wine didn't refuse, as it was going to help her family's business as well. But in the meantime of having business meetings with each other, they grew fond of each other, and some of the meetings even had their personal businesses. But now they were finally married without telling each other how they feel for each other. Wine has feelings for him, but Jungkook doesn't know. Same goes for Jungkook. It's a one sided love according to both of them. Wine's hands trembled as she clutched the blanket's corner, her newly wedded husband, Jungkook's arms wrapping around her waist. The arranged marriage had been a whirlwind, but in this moment, none of that mattered. All that mattered was the burning desire between them. Jungkook leaned closer to her, and their lips met in a fierce, passionate kiss, the room around them fading into nothingness. Jungkook's hands roamed her body, leaving trails of the fire wherever he touched, Vine's resistance fading away, her body melting into his embrace. Without a word, Jungkook swept her into his arms, lying her down on the bed. The soft surface beneath her skin was the opposite to the roughness raging within them. As he made love to her, the outside world melted away, leaving only the two of them, lost in the intensity of their passion. Vine's heart raced, her soul surrendering to the man who had claimed her as his own. Wine. Jungkook, don't what, Wine? Don't love you? Don't want you? I didn't say that. Wine hesitated, but she knew what she wanted. Jungkook, then don't complain. He occupied her lips once again without letting her respond. After a few minutes, as they broke apart, Wine. You're so strong, Jungkook. And you're so soft, Wine. So fragile, he said as he tugged her hair behind her ears. Jungkook. But I'm not, because I have been waiting for this until you were finally mine, he whispered in her ear. Wine. This is crazy. I never thought I will make love with someone whom I wanted. I've always considered my business over my needs and wants. But this is bonus. Jungkook. That's what makes it so exciting. Vine scoffed, laying her hands around his neck. You're so passionate, Jungkook. Only with you, my love. Vine's eyes widened. What did you say? Her heart beating, and her eyes on him for the answer. The answer she had wanted, but never knew he'd say it. At that point, 1 second was equivalent to one eternity. Is he finally gonna propose her on the wedding night? Jungkook pulled her in his embrace as he moved his hand on her neck, sending her shivers. He moved closer to her ear and whispered, I said I'm only passionate with you, my love. His whisper in that husky voice, his presence so close to him, his hand on her neck. This was extremely ridiculous. But Vine, I feel like I'm melting. Jungkook smiled as he moved away from her, locking his eyes with hers. That's the idea. Vine smirked and never stopped smirking until he was this close to her, saying words in her ears that she would have never expected from anyone. Vine, this is crazy. Vine pushed him away as she shook her head. I can't take this anymore. Not more. Vine stopped as he unexpectedly pulled her into his embrace once again. Jungkook, why? We're just getting started. Vine, I can't take it. Jungkook, yes you can. You're stronger than you think. Vine's heart beat with a speed that she couldn't control. Jungkook. Shh, Vine. No words. Just feel. He put her hands on her eyes as he closed them, pulling her closer and closer, his hands roaming around her body, and this was the best experience of her life. Vine with her eyes closed. This is too good. I can't believe how much I want you. Jungkook didn't say anything in return. He was just too busy in the current feeling, a complete escape for him for the life he had been living until now. After a few minutes, Vine opened her eyes, his hands still on her body. She looked at him in the eyes as she held his hands that were on her waist. She put them on her heart as she said to him, Jungkook, I think I might be falling for you. Jungkook stopped at his place for a few seconds, his hands on her heart, feeling her heart which was now beating for him, before he smiled at her. Good, because I'm already gone, Vine. Vine laughed and just stayed there frozen for some minutes, him feeling her heart beating for him, her unable to control her heart because she was too close to him. Jungkook's eyes burning with a newfound intensity for Vine. She knew in that moment their arranged marriage is gonna help her a lot with her personal business.